Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our English speaking practice class. I am very excited to help you practice speaking in English, expand your vocabulary, improve your grammar, and overall feel more confident in English. Are you excited for that? Well, let's see, what are we going to speak about today? I chose this topic very purposely. The topic is my friend's daily routine. Notice it's my friend's daily routine. So, if you are talking about your friend's daily routine, what verb tense are you going to use? Hmm, maybe you might think of some keywords like every day, always, usually. What keyword would you use? What verb tense would you use with these keywords? Well, of course, you know this. All students know that with the daily routine, you need the present simple. Of course, you know that. This might seem like a very beginner topic to you, but my most advanced students still make mistakes with the present simple when they're talking about he, she, or it, which we can do with my friend, because my friend as a subject would be he, she. Of course, not it. It would be for things like an organization or a team. So let's practice this. And remember, because you're using the third person singular in the present simple, you need to make sure you get that S or ES on the verb. So here is your first question. And as we're doing this, of course, you need to answer out loud. Put your answer in the chat so I can review it, help you make sure it's correct. And if you're watching the replay, still put your answer in the chat as well. I'll review it, make sure it's correct. But after that, I want you to open your mouth and speak in English. Open your mouth and speak in English so you practice speaking. So here we go. Here's your first picture. Now remember, this is your friend's daily routine. You can change this to any third person singular. So maybe it could be my sister, my brother, my husband, my wife, my mom, my dad, my uncle, my aunt, my neighbor, my coworker, but it has to be one person. So there are three people in this image, but I want you to choose one. You could choose the baby as the subject. You could choose the woman. Maybe it's your mother, your sister, your friend, your coworker, or you can choose the man. And let's look at the keyword always. Always. I want you to look at the picture and think of one thing that's part of your friend's daily routine using the keyword always. So, what could you say? She always, he always, the baby always. And then we just need a verb. And don't forget to put that S or ES on the verb as well. Okay, so here we have Mozab is practicing the present simple. Well, this is actually the present continuous because you have the verb to be, they are, and you have your verb in ing. That is the present continuous. And plus, in this practice class, we are going to focus on the subject, he or she, or if there's a chance for it, you can use that as well. So let's look at that. Okay, my mom always makes breakfast. Exactly. My mom always makes breakfast. So notice the placement of the adverb always. Always is an adverb of frequency. It represents 7 times per week. Always. My mom is the subject. She always makes breakfast. So you put subject, adverb of frequency, verb, and in this case, you need to add the S or the ES. And then you can add more information. Okay. Enoch said, the baby Awesome. Using the baby as a subject. This could be he or she. I'm not sure based on this baby. The baby always takes part in the preparation food. Excellent sentence. Very nicely done. Notice you have the phrasal verb to take part in, and you take part in something. So in this case, the something is the food preparation. Notice how I switched your word order. It's the food preparation, the food preparation, and you added your S. The baby always takes part in the food preparation. Very nicely done. Okay, Abdo said he always carries the baby. Excellent job. And notice for spelling, carry as a verb, it ends in Y. So for spelling, you change the Y to I. And in this case, you add ES instead of just S. Carries, ease. And notice it adds that ease, that long extra syllable. Carries, carries, carries. He always carries the baby. Repeat after me. He always carries the baby. Okay, excellent. And make sure you're opening your mouth and you're speaking out loud to practice. All right. We're focusing on the baby here. Why not? That's fun. The baby always. Oh, interesting. So we have another verb with that ends in a Y. So what do we need to do for correct spelling and correct verb conjugation? Because this is the mistake I see. And don't worry, Rahim, this is a very common mistake. Even my most advanced students make this mistake, and that's why we're practicing it. And the reason why you make this mistake, of course, you know the rule. You need to add an S or ES in the present simple to the subjects he, she, and it. But the thing is, most students, they don't practice those subjects enough, so they don't get that repetition. That's all you need. So I see a correct answer from Karen. The baby always cries. So notice you change the Y to I, and then you add ES for spelling. Cries. But in this case, there is no extra syllable. So listen to that pronunciation. Cries. Cries. Repeat after me. Cries. Before we had carries with two sounds, carries. Repeat after me, carries. Cries. All right, she cries when she sees me. Nice sentence, very nicely done. All right. So, how about this one? Horatio is using my neighbor, which is excellent because the subject could be he or she. Neighbor is gender neutral. We don't know if it's he or she, it could be either. My neighbor always takes care of his baby while his wife cooks. Excellent job. Very nice sentence. So notice you take care of something or someone. In this case, of course, someone takes care of his baby. Very nicely done, everyone. Everyone is doing such a great job. So let me ask you, are you enjoying this lesson? Do you like these lessons where we practice certain topics? You get the chance to write an example sentence, practice out loud, have me review it, and give you feedback. If you like this style of lesson, well, then, of course, like it, subscribe, and put yes, yes, yes in the comments so I know you want me to keep making lessons like this. And even if I don't review your specific example, because there are so many examples, you're still learning a lot from the other students' examples as well. So I hope you like this style of lesson. Let's see. Well, we have some yeses coming in already. Dindy said yes. Anoke said yes. Woohoo. We have some more yeses. Horatio said yes. Ava said yes. Awesome. I'm very happy. Mozab said yes. All right. Aw, well, love you right back. Okay, so let's practice a different adverb of frequency. So notice here, we have a group. Now, as a collective noun, you can refer to everyone in this picture as the group. The group, and then you can conjugate it as third person singular because the group in English is a collective noun. The group. Okay. But you can also just look at one specific person and say she or he, the woman with sunglasses, the man with sunglasses, the man wearing a watch to help identify who this is. Or you can look at this adorable little puppy. Now, in English, we generally use the subject it for wild animals, but with our own pets, because we love our pets, we consider them like our family. We generally use the subject he or she. So for this puppy, you could say the dog, the puppy, he, she, or it. So there are many different subjects you can use for the dog. And remember, you can use the group as well. Okay, and our adverb of frequency here is every day. Every day. There's something different that you need to do with this adverb every day. Does anybody know? Okay. We go to the forest for a picnic every day. Yes, that's very nicely written. Excellent job. It's in the present simple. And you have the correct placement of the time reference every day. So with adverbs of frequency that have every day, every morning, every afternoon, every weekend, every year, you put the adverb either at the very beginning or the very end. Excellent job. The only thing is, this is not a collective noun. You use the subject we, which is absolutely fine, but let's practice using the collective noun. So you could use the group or she or he. So here, Fabio gave us one with the group. The group gathers every day to kick around ideas about their next trip. I really like this, Fabio. Nicely done. The group gathers every day. Now, the placement, I said at the beginning or the end, which are the most common placements. But in some verbs, you can put it after the verb and it sounds okay. So to be honest, this sounds okay to me, but that's an exception because there are many verbs where it wouldn't sound okay to put every day after the verb. So to be safe, I recommend putting it at the very beginning or the very end. The group every day the group gathers, so they gather, they meet each other, they gather to kick around. Kick around is a very casual way of saying share. Let's kick around some ideas. Let's brainstorm. Let's share some ideas. And in this case, it's about their next trip. Very nicely written, Fabio. I love it. Okay. Let's find another one. So, my friends and I, very nicely done, but let's practice with just the third person singular. Okay, here we have Dilsol said, the group, the group with dog meets to enjoy nature every day. Exactly, exactly. There's one minor thing you need to do, Dilsol, to make this grammatical. And this is another very common mistake I see with my students. So maybe in a future lesson, we will practice this. Dog is a noun and it's a countable noun. One dog, two dogs, three dogs. Because of that, you need to add an article in front of it. The group with a dog. The group with a dog. A means any dog. You could also say the group with the dog. In this case, it is a specific dog, the one that belongs to this group. The group with a dog meets to enjoy nature every day. Other than that article, very nicely written. Great job. Okay, we have Karen, the man with sunglasses. Yes, the man with sunglasses smiles every day whenever he hears funny old jokes. Very nicely done. So smiles, to smile, and then we add that S, smiles. Very nice. Or how about Ava said, the group spends its time in the forest every day. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. You can say spends its time. I would also just say spends time and not include the it, but it's optional. You can have it there. The group spends its time in the forest every day. Very nicely done. I like that. And notice you spend time. And in this case, you can spend time in a location and they're in the forest. Very nicely done. And the keyword every day is at the end. I like this, Michael. The group hangs out, hangs out. So to hang out, this is a phrasal verb and it means to meet socially. So when you hang out with people, even if it's your coworkers, you're doing it for a social purpose, not for a business purpose. The group hangs out in the park every day. Very nice. Okay, Lewis, I think maybe you know this already from my explanation, but just remember you need to put your time reference every day, either at the beginning or at the end. And it is 2 words. Every day they like to picnic in the forest. Otherwise, it's correct. And you can say every day the group likes. The group likes. Abdo says, the man with the beard. Oh, nice description. And this is useful to help you think of adjectives. How would you describe someone if you don't know their name? Well, you could say, oh, the man with the beard, the man with sunglasses, the woman with a braid. Excellent job. The man with the beard wears the black watch every day. Exactly. Very nicely said. All right. Okay. Oh, here we have the family. This is an excellent example because the family is a collective noun. And this absolutely could be a family. The family works during the week. Excellent job. So our verb is work and conjugated in the present simple with the family. It works during the week. That's why it doesn't go to the park every day. Very nice. And good job having your keyword at the end. All right. Awesome job. Oh, okay. The group with a dog. Exactly. With a dog. The group with a dog. All right. It looks like, oh, very clever because here you're using it as the subject. It looks, and look is conjugated in the present simple. So you have to add that S. It looks like they hang out every day. Exactly. Very nicely written. The only thing is hang out. You won't notice this for pronunciation, but for spelling, you need it to be 2 words because hang is the verb. And if you wanted to conjugate it in the past simple, you can't do that when it's 1 word. So hang, next word, out. Hang is the verb, out is the preposition. And same with every day is 2 words as well. These things will not impact pronunciation, they just impact spelling. Excellent job, everyone. Let's do one more here. Elson said, the group comes together to talk about politics every day. Exactly. Very nice. So we have the phrasal verb to come together. That could be a replacement to gather, which we saw before. The group gathers, the group hangs out, but for social purposes only, the group comes together to talk about. Notice you talk about something, in this case, politics. If you wanted to use discuss, you don't discuss about something. You discuss something, but you talk about something. Okay. Excellent job. Let's move on to the next one. What do we have next? It's a surprise for me too, because I don't remember. Every weekend. So let's practice this again because the placement of every is different. Remember, now you know you can put it at the beginning or at the end. That is the safest location because it's always correct. Sometimes you can put it after the verb, but not always. So, because of that, I recommend the very beginning or the very end. Now, here is another opportunity. You can pinpoint one specific person and practice your adjectives to describe who you are talking about. Or we can look at this as a collective noun. Now, of course, we can use the same thing, the group, or you could use the family as well. You could even say the household, which would be the people who live in a house. That wouldn't be as common, but I'm just brainstorming some collective nouns that you could use. All right. Let's see. We have the family. Michelle said, the family spends time every weekend. Exactly. Very nice. So, spend is our verb, and you spend time. And you need that S because it's the family. It spends time. Now, I would just add one word to make this sound more complete because it makes me think, well, spend time doing what? So, to help make that sentence more complete, I would just say the family spends time together. And I would just add that word together. The family spends time together every weekend. Okay. Yeah, exactly like Bo just said. I like how you added the family in this picture. Very nicely done. Just a few extra words to describe this, but it makes it sound more advanced. The family in this picture spends quality time together. Another easy way to sound more advanced. Great job, Bo. Added the word quality time. Quality time. Quality time represents the idea that they're actually enjoying the time together. But because the family could be in the same room, but they're just on their phones. One person's on their phone, the other person is working. So, is that really quality time? So, quality time would be that they're interacting, they're socializing, they're engaging. So, the family in this picture spends quality time together every weekend. Very nicely done. Okay, Karen, my family, very nice. Imagining this is your family. Maybe you're showing this to your friend, this picture to your friend, and then you add some information. My family enjoys. An excellent job. Does everyone notice here how we have the verb to enjoy? And it has an S on it because it's in the present simple. But notice the next verb, cook, to cook, the next verb is in the ing. And that's because enjoy is a gerund verb. Now, with gerund verbs, the first verb is conjugated according to the subject and time reference. In this case, the present simple third person singular. And then the second verb, you add the ing. Excellent sentence, Karen. Okay, I like this one here. Some nice descriptors. Dilsol said, the girl with yellow dress. The girl with yellow dress. Very nice. I see her. I know exactly who you're talking about. Visits with, this is our verb to visit, visits her aunt and cousins to have dinner every weekend. Excellent job and very creative imagining that this family and the relationship between them. Very nicely done. The only thing you would need to do is, and again, perhaps we should practice this because this is the one area I correct with my students, my most advanced students. So don't feel bad, Dill Soul, or anyone else who makes this mistake because it's a very common mistake. The girl with the yellow dress or the girl with a yellow dress. Now, I chose the because it's a specific yellow dress, the one she's wearing, whereas a just means any yellow dress, but you could use either one. But you need an article. Yellow is an adjective, it describes the dress. Adjectives don't replace articles. Possessives replace articles. So you could say my dog instead of a dog or the dog. But if you say little dog, little is an adjective. So you still need a possessive, my little dog, or an article, a little dog, the little dog. So yellow is the adjective, dress is the noun, and you need an article. Okay. Here we go. Ava has another descriptor. The woman with curly hair enjoys having a get together with her family every weekend. Very nicely done. The woman with curly hair, very nice. Now, in this case, hair is an uncountable noun, so you don't need an article in front of it. Excellent job, Ava. The woman with curly hair, curly is the adjective, and enjoy is our verb conjugated. Enjoy is a gerund verb. So the next verb, have, is in ing, and a get together. Very nicely written, a get together. This is an event where people gather, where people get together. Excellent sentence. Okay. Now, this is interesting. Mamadou wrote, the members of my family. But what is the subject? If you think about who the subject is, in English, there are only 5 subjects. I, you, he, she, it, I consider the same subject, we, and they. So you must take this noun and think of it as a subject. So what is the subject? In this case, it's the members. The members is the subject, and that would be I, you, he, she, it, we, they. They. The members of the family is they. So they share because because the subject is they. So the verb needs to be share without the S. The members of the family share a good moment every weekend. So to fix this, you would just either, as Wake Up said, you would either just say share, or you would just say my family and not the members. All right, excellent job. Enoch said every weekend, each one gets ready to reunite along with its family. Very nicely done. This is an interesting strategy. Each one. So now our subject is he, she, it, because each one represents one person. So he gets ready, she gets ready, the little girl gets ready, the teenager gets ready to reunite along with its family. Very nicely done. I like that. I never thought about that, to be honest, as a collective noun or as a he, she, it, to use each one. Very nicely done. That's very clever. I'm impressed. Okay, let's move on. So now we have every night. Oh, well, we have 2 people in this photo, and they're pretty easy to identify because one's a man, one's a woman. But what would the collective noun be? Let's imagine they're in a romantic relationship. They're not brother and sister. They're not coworkers. They're not friends. They're in a romantic relationship. So, what would be the collective noun that would represent the subject, he, she, it, because we want to practice adding that S or ES to our verbs in the present simple? Elson has it. Does anyone else know? Say the answer before I reveal it. The couple. Exactly. So the couple. So if you're at a party and you're talking to two people, you could say, I met an interesting couple at the party. The couple loves hiking. So, the couple, you're referring to two people as one unit. So, it's a collective noun. It's just like saying the group, but for two people in a romantic relationship, we refer to them as couple, the couple. It doesn't matter if they are boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, engaged, or married. It does not matter. You would still use the couple. Okay, so let's look at this picture. This is an interesting picture. Every night, what could you say? Think of different verbs that you could use based on this picture. And what could you say? Okay, Mozab, let's look at this. Every night, the couple, well, we want to take our verb and we want to conjugate it with the couple, which is a collective noun. He, she, it. So we need to add that S or ES. So I'm sure everyone knows what have is in the present simple. Every night, the couple has a date night. So dating is a verb, to date, but a night, what type of night? A date night. And what do you do on a date night? You go for a nice dinner. You go for a walk in the park. You go and do what this couple is doing right here. So you do something to spend quality time together. That would be a date night. Okay. So Horatio said, the couple goes. Exactly. So here we have an irregular spelling. We need to add that ES, which I'm sure everybody knows already. The couple goes for a car ride every night. And that is an excellent sentence structure because when you go for a car ride, it sounds more like a leisurely activity. In the morning, when you go to work and you take your car as your vehicle, you don't go for a car ride. You drive to work. You drive to work because it isn't leisurely, it isn't for enjoyment, it's for the purpose of transportation. But if you're doing it for enjoyment, to look at the beautiful mountains, to have a picnic, or just because you really enjoy driving, you use to go for a ride, a car ride, to go for a car ride. Okay, excellent job. The couple spends quality time every night. Exactly. And just like I made the comment before, to me, this sounds a little incomplete. Spend quality time. You just need to add that word together. Spends quality time together every night to make it sound complete because you spend time doing something. But if you add the word together, then I understand that's how they're spending their time. Oh, they're spending it together. And that in itself is the activity. So Raul said this couple, exactly, this couple, because it's a specific couple, you can absolutely say that. This couple enjoys getting together every night. Yes, so to get together is when two people meet because you can be in a couple but not live in the same house. You could be early in your relationship, so you're not living together, but you are still a couple because it doesn't matter if you're married or just dating or how long you've been dating for. Good job. Okay, Louise says, every night, Bill likes to drive his girlfriend to see the mountains. Very nicely done. I like how you used one person, you named him Bill, And you used your verb like with the S. Every night, Bill likes to drive who? His girlfriend to see the mountains. Very nicely done. Nice sentence. Okay. Excellent job, everyone. There are so many great comments here. Okay. Dindy said, that couple seems very shy. And this is an excellent sentence because the verb seem is in the present simple and it's conjugated with couple because you added the S. So very nicely done because we use the present simple also for factual information and you still need to conjugate your verb. So although this isn't necessarily an every night because it's just factual, it seems shy. That couple seems very shy. Very nice. All right. Excellent job, everyone. How about this? Now, our adverb of frequency is frequently. Frequently. So this is, if we have always is 7 days per week, frequently would be slightly less. There is no definition such as it must be 6 times per week. It must be 5 times per week, but it's less than always, but it's still to a large degree. So if we are using 7 days per week and always is 7 days per week, to me, frequently sounds like 5 or 6. 5 or 6. Okay. So what could you say? And again, we could talk about the person presenting. We could talk about the other people in the picture. You can use adjectives, descriptors to identify them, or you can talk about them as a unit. What would be the collective noun? In this case, this looks to me like a professional situation. So, what would be the collective noun to talk about this group as it? He, she, it. How could we talk about this group as it? Well, you could say group, like I just told you. You could say this group or the group. You could absolutely do that. What else could you use as a collective noun? To me, it doesn't look like a family. It's definitely not a couple. So, what could we say? Well, a lot of people have it. Ava said the team. And Satyajit said the team. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Excellent job. It's the team. Okay. Now let's use frequently. AK said, my boss. Exactly. My boss. So this is a great opportunity. You could say he or she, but you could say my boss, my coworker, my teammate. My teammate is one person on your team. My colleague. So those are different options that you can use for the subject that would all replace he or she or it. My boss frequently calls meetings. Exactly. When you call a meeting, it means that the boss says, okay, everyone, let's meet 5 minutes in the boardroom. Oh, my boss just called a meeting. In that case, it's the past simple because it's a completed past action. My boss just called a meeting. Oh, sorry, I can't go to lunch. My boss just called an emergency meeting. My boss frequently calls meetings. So now frequently is our regular adverb of frequency. So the placement is subject, adverb of frequency, and then your verb conjugated with the subject. Excellent job. How about this one? Julia said, the presenter, exactly, the person presenting, the presenter frequently goes on, and we find it tedious. Ugh. So I hope you understand, goes on and on. And to be dramatic, you can keep adding on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And native speakers often do that if we really want to emphasize how long the person went on and on for, to find it tedious. Very nicely done. Hopefully, that's not what you're thinking right now with this presentation, that I, as a presenter, am going on and on and on. Hopefully, not. All right, awesome job. And also, nice job changing your subject. At the beginning, we have the presenter. Go is our verb conjugated, goes on and on. And we, now the subject has changed. So you have to change your verb conjugation, which Julia did. Excellent job, Julia. Okay. Yes, Freddie, we frequently can observe. How about change that to a collective noun or he or she to practice that? Oh, right. Ada said Alan. So now in the picture, we have an Alan. Alan makes his presentation in the meetings frequently. Yeah, I would put the adverb of frequency before the verb. Alan frequently makes his presentation. Now, if you use make a presentation, it means that you create it. So, for example, the PowerPoint that you're looking at right now, I made it. And this is a presentation. So, I made this presentation. I chose the images, I added the text, I formatted it. So, I created it, I made it. But for this one, you can just use the verb present and put that in the present simple and add the S. Alan frequently presents, or you can give a presentation. You can give a presentation. All right. Zusi said, the teacher, exactly, the teacher, he or she, the teacher frequently uses the information board. Exactly. So on the screen here, yeah, you could call that an information board. Very nice. All right, here. So we have one with team. The team meets frequently to improve the efficiency of the work. Exactly. Adverbs of frequency or adverbs in general are difficult because their position is flexible. To me, this sounds good. Meets frequently. To be absolutely safe, because in many cases the placement is not flexible, I recommend doing subject, adverb of frequency, and then verb because it's always correct. However, Dindy, to me, this does sound good. All right. Yes, this meeting, excellent job, because this is the it. I, you, he, she, it. So this meeting, it takes place frequently. Very nice. And again, to me, frequently sounds good at the end. If you want to make sure it's always correct, then you can put it after the subject before the verb. Okay, excellent job. How about, this one? So usually, again, so if we have always, frequently, to me, usually sounds either about the same as frequently or maybe just the slightest bit less. But again, these aren't things that everyone would agree with, but it's about there. It's either the same as frequently or just perhaps maybe a tiny bit less, but it's less than always. So here, to me, these look like strangers. So I don't see them as a collective. It's possible they're a couple. They just choose to sit in different locations. But to me, they look like strangers. So I don't see a collective noun. So we could refer to them as individuals. So we have the man, the woman. You can add more information. Even though there's only one man and one woman, you can still use a descriptor just to add more information to practice as well. So, and our adverb of frequency is usually. What could you say in this picture? So here we have she reads a book in train usually. Okay, so for placement, let's do subject, adverb of frequency, and then verb. She usually reads a book. Very nicely done because your verb is read and is conjugated with the subject. She usually reads a book. Now, what preposition do we need with train, subway, plane, boat? What do we use? We use the preposition on. So, a very useful memory aid is if you can move, then use the preposition on. So when you're in a car, you can't get up and move. And that's why we use in with a car, a truck, a van, so a vehicle in. But you can move on a train, on a plane, on a boat, on a subway. Am I forgetting any? So we use on. She usually reads a book on the train, on the train. Okay. Sergi, I like this. Sergi chose to use the local bus as the subject. Excellent job, Sergi, and very creative because this is it. I, you, he, she, it. So the bus as the subject is it. The bus, it is usually empty in the summertime. Very nicely done. So our verb to be conjugated with the subject. The local bus is usually empty in the summertime. Very nicely done. Okay, Java here said the boy, exactly, the boy. The boy usually rides a bus to go to work. Very nice. So you can ride a bus. You can also take a bus, but you can ride a bus. Very nice. And then you added your S. Excellent. Now, generally, we use boy if it's more of a child. So if this was a child going to school, perhaps. But for adults, we generally use man. So the man usually rides a bus to go to work. Okay. Here we go. We have Ellison said, the woman reading a book. Excellent job, because the woman reading a book, that as the subject is she. She usually takes the bus. Very nice. She usually takes the bus. The woman reading a book. Excellent job. Very nicely done. Okay. How about this one? So we have sometimes. Sometimes would be less than usually and frequently. So we have always, frequently, usually, about the same, and then sometimes. So maybe sometimes is 3 times a week. If we're using 7 out of 7 days in a week is always. 6, 5 is usually frequently, and then sometimes could be 3 or 4 could be sometimes. Again, these are just guidelines. So we'll do our subject, our adverb of frequency, sometimes, and then our verb. So let's think of a collective noun. So we already practiced some. We could say the group, the group. So if this is friends, a group of friends, then you can use the group, the group. They could also be colleagues. So we could say the team because they could work together. This could be a work meeting. It's just taking place in a public location. Or you can refer to each person. And now they look quite similar, don't they? So you have to use some really good descriptive words if you want to identify one specific person. Now, another collective, you could refer to everyone in this picture, including the people in the background. You could refer to all of them as the crowd, the crowd. So the crowd is another way to say the group. So those are some collective options for you just to practice. Okay. So what do we have here? We have Java here said the friends. Exactly. That's correct. Sometimes eat out. So when you eat out, it means you go to a location other than your home, other than your office, and you eat. So this sentence is correct. Let's practice with he, she, or it. All right. So what could we do? So here, KSL, SLSL, not sure how to say that. This man, so get rid of the S because you have this, which represents one. This man sometimes, because we want to do subject, adverb of frequency, and then our verb. This man, no S, this man sometimes. Now, what do we need to do here? Because our verb is to hang out. So Susan has that. Hang out as to. Now, Susan used I as the subject. So in this case, is correct. If you wanted to use this man with only one man, you would add the S. This man sometimes hangs out in this cafe. Very nice. Oh, I love it. Fabio, this cafe. Yes, exactly. Why didn't I think of that? This cafe, it. So we're referring to the cafe as the subject. This cafe, it sometimes gets really busy. So to get busy, in this case, get means become. It's that transition between not busy to busy. This cafe sometimes gets really busy. Excellent job, Fabio. Okay, here we have Gore with a nice descriptor. The man with the white t-shirt. Okay, so let's put this in the present simple. The man with the white t-shirt listens to his friend carefully. Listens. So you need listen. To listen is your verb, and then you add the S because it's in the present simple. And you listen to someone or something. So if I have headphones in, you could say, "Oh, Jennifer, what are you listening to? What are you listening to?" Now, in this case, he listens to his friend carefully. Very nicely done. Okay. Sometimes the team goes out in order to talk about business. Exactly. Very nice. So the team is the collective noun. Now, again, adverbs of frequency, they are flexible. If you want to be very safe, the safest choice is subject, adverb, verb. The team sometimes goes out in order to talk about business, and our verb is go. Very nice. Okay. So this coworker, if you have this, you only need one because this is for singular and these is for plural. But let's talk about one. So just change it to this coworker sometimes talks about his research on human rights. Human rights. So you need that S on human rights. Rights. So you could say, to make this a collective, the team. The team sometimes talks about its research on human rights, or the group of friends. And the conjugation is the group. Very nice. Okay. Now, how about this one? So our last one, we have rarely. So we have always, always, frequently, usually, sometimes. Now, rarely is on the lesser side. So if you do something 7 out of 7 is always, rarely might be 1 out of 7. Rarely, rarely. Okay. So you can think of it as not often, not usually, rarely. And we have one person in this group, in this picture, I should say. This isn't a group, this is a picture. We have one person in this picture. So this will be easy for you. We've done a lot of practice with collective nouns. Awesome job, everyone. How about this one? Asham said she rarely arranges her suitcase. Exactly, exactly. So even if the person is doing it now, you could still make that comment. Oh, wow. She rarely arranges her suitcase. So this is unusual for her. The fact that she's arranging her suitcase now is unusual because she rarely arranges her suitcase. Very nicely done. She rarely stays home. Exactly. It looks like she's about to leave. So she rarely stays home. Exactly. Very nice. Fabio said, my daughter. Exactly. So that could be a different subject. My daughter rarely goes on a solo trip. Very nicely done. A solo trip is when you travel alone, just one person, without a friend, without a partner, just alone. A solo trip. Very nice. She rarely travels. Maria says she rarely travels. Very nice. Our verb is travel. So she doesn't know what to pack. Exactly. Exactly. Everyone is doing very nice with this one. Okay. She rarely arranges books. Exactly. Very nice. Again, we have arrange. Now, notice here that ES adds an extra sound. Arranges. Arranges. Repeat after me. Arranges. Arranges. Very nice. Iman says she rarely travel. Don't forget that S. Iman, don't forget that S. She rarely travels with an S. She rarely travels overseas. So maybe now she is, but this isn't something that's part of her regular routine. She rarely travels overseas. So she's really nervous about her trip. Very nice. Java here said she rarely explores. So our verb is explore and then add that S, explores foreign lands. Very nice. Okay. Ayat says, Linda, very nice. Give this person a name, make it sound more personal. Linda rarely travels abroad. Travels abroad. Very nice. So to travel abroad and to travel overseas, as Iman said, both are the same. Notice it's overseas with that S. And in this case, it's abroad. There's no S on it. Very good. So we have here Sarah. So Kavitha said Sarah rarely backs her bag. I think you mean pack with a P. Rarely packs her bag. Exactly. So now she is, but this isn't usual. It's rarely. She rarely packs her bag. Or let's see, said she rarely speaks with me. Why not? Exactly. Very nice. Everyone is doing such an awesome job. So don't forget that S and ES, so important. And also, You've practiced collective nouns. You've practiced describing people with different adjectives. You've fixed your sentence structure. You've practiced adverbs of frequency, sentence structure placement, and of course, the present simple. Amazing job. Think of everything you've done so far, and hopefully, you had fun. If you liked this lesson, then of course, like it so I know you enjoyed it. Subscribe so you're notified whenever I post a new one or whenever I go live, and put yes, yes, yes. Did you like this lesson? Do you want me to make more topics like this where we practice speaking together and I give you feedback in real time? And also put yes, yes, yes. But if you have any ideas for a future lesson you would like to discuss, a topic, let me know. And I'm happy to take your suggestions into consideration. All right, we have some yeses. Asham liked the lesson. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Michelle says yes. Horatio says yes. All right, Java here says yes. Dill Soul's very excited a million times. Awesome. AK said yes. Maria said yes. Rivka says yes. Oh, Luis says thank you. Well, thank you so much, Luis. It was awesome hanging out with all of you. All right. And Michael says, thank you. You're very welcome, Michael. Lydia says, yes. Awesome, everyone. Well, I am so happy you enjoyed this lesson. So let me know you like it. Put yes, yes, yes. Like and subscribe. And I will see everyone in my next one. Bye, everyone. Bye.